Lust is not merely a moment of weakness, it is often a cycle, a loop that pulls the soul deeper each time it is entertained, not returning to its vomit. As Proverbs 26:11 so vividly declares, the person caught in lust doesn't just stumble once, they return again and again. Not because the experience satisfies, but because it deceives. The initial rush of pleasure quickly decays into guilt and emptiness, yet the memory of that pleasure lingers like a whisper, calling the heart back to what once felt good. Even though it poisoned the spirit, each return weakens resolve. Each repetition builds a stronger chain. And what begins as a choice can soon feel like captivity. Not as a one-time failure, but as a pattern of deception, and convinces it that indulgence is easier than change. But the tragedy is this: the soul was never designed to live in this loop. It was made to soar, to pursue love that gives instead of takes. And so long as the heart remains chained to lust, it will miss the deeper joy of being free, free to desire rightly, to love purely, and to live fully. Lust is one of the great deceivers of the human heart. It mimics intimacy but offers none of its rewards. It whispers promises of connection, affection, and fulfillment, yet it delivers isolation, disillusionment, and shame. Lust takes what is meant to be sacred, the giving of oneself in love, and distorts it into a selfish pursuit of gratification. Where love seeks the good of the other, lust seeks only to consume, and once it has taken what it wants, it leaves the heart emptier than before. In the shadow of lust, true intimacy cannot grow. Intimacy requires trust, vulnerability, and presence. It is built slowly, nurtured over time, and grounded in the selfless giving and receiving of love. That short circuits that process. It demands instant pleasure and offers no lasting bond. It reduces people to objects and moments, to transactions. Worse still, the more a person indulges in lust, the more difficult it becomes to experience real connection. The heart grows numb to authentic love because it has been trained to seek something counterfeit. Lust feeds loneliness while pretending to cure it. It's not a doorway to love. It is a wall that keeps love out. In this way, robs the soul of the very thing it longs for most. Desire itself is not the enemy. It is a gift, a signal that we were made for more. The problem arises not from the presence of desire, but from its direction. Our longings are not evil by nature. They are the fingerprints of a deeper hunger for the eternal. We desire beauty, intimacy, purpose, and joy because our souls were created to be satisfied in the one who embodies all these things perfectly. Lust, then, is not desire. It is desire gone astray. It is the heart settling for a shed of the substance. Too often we try to fight lust by suppressing desire altogether, as if holiness is found in becoming numb. But that's not God's design. He does not call us to kill our longings, but to elevate them, to redeem. True victory doesn't come from denying desire. It comes from refining it, aiming it towards something far more glorious than the quick thrill lust offers. When we try to fight fire with emptiness, we fail. But when we fight fire with a greater flame, the burning joy of knowing God, we begin to see desire for what it truly is. A compass meant to point us home. The solution isn't less desire, it's deeper desire. Willpower alone is not enough to defeat lust, because lust doesn't just reside in the body, it makes its home in the heart and mind. You can grit your teeth and try to resist. You can install fills and build walls. But if the heart still craves the illusion that lust offers, the battle will feel endless. Lust is not merely a behavioral issue, it is a worship issue. It thrives where the heart is bored, empty, or distracted from what truly satisfies. Trying to fight it with sheer discipline is like trying to dam a river with your hands. Eventually, the pressure breaks through. The truth is, the human heart was never meant to live by resistance alone. We were designed to be captivated, and if we are not captivated by something greater, we will be conquered by something lesser. This is why the cure for lust isn't simply to say a no to temptation, but to say yes to a deeper love, a brighter beauty, a higher purpose. Lust loses its power when the soul finds something it wants more. When it tastes the joy of purity, the peace of a clean conscience, and the freedom of walking in light. Discipline may start the fight, but only delight in God can win it. The only way to truly overcome lust is to feast on a greater beauty. Something so radiant, so fulfilling, that the counterfeit allure of lust begins to lose its grip. Lust thrives in a starved soul. in a mind that has not been captivated by something more glorious. It offers quick pleasure, but not lasting joy. The human heart was made to worship, to be drawn in awe and wonder to what is good, true, and beautiful. If we do not actively seek that beauty, we will settle for something lesser, something that demands little and gives even less. To feast on greater beauty is to set your eyes, mind, and heart on what lifts you higher. It's choosing to meditate on the majesty of God, the purity of His love, and the richness of His truth. It's training your heart to delight in what is holy, not just avoiding what is sinful. But beauty that is rooted in God doesn't just please the senses, it restores, and when your soul is full of awe, full of worship, and full of truth, lust becomes a pale shadow by comparison. You don't beat lust by starvation. You beat it by overwhelming it with something infinitely more satisfying. You were never meant to live in chains. You were not created to be mastered by impulse or enslaved by fleeting desires. Deep within you is the image of God, a design that speaks of purpose, dignity, and a calling to something far higher than what lust can offer. The world tries to tell you that you are simply a creature of instinct, that your cravings define you, and that fulfillment comes through surrendering to them. But that is a lie. You were made for more. You were made to walk in freedom, not the kind of freedom that indulges every appetite, but the kind that says no because it has found a greater. Yes, you were made to love deeply, not to consume, to give, not to take, to shine with a holiness that reflects the heart of your Creator. Lust tries to reduce you to your lowest urges, but God calls you to rise. He calls you to live with vision, with honor, with clarity of soul and purity of heart. The battle against lust is not just about resisting sin, it's about reclaiming your identity. You were never meant to grovel in the shadows. You were meant to stand in the light unashamed and fully alive.